If it's happened to you, you already know it's one of the worst sensations possible. A fierce toothache can be painful, but it can become more than an inconvenience. Accessing dental care isn't always easy, but it is important. It can affect work, health, and dignity.
And in some cases, serious dental issues can lead to infection, heart disease, and more. But once a year in Salisbury, something extraordinary happens. It's a volunteer-led cause to spread a valuable act of service. It's the Eastern Shore Mission of Mercy.
And we are happy to be here with Sue Simmons, the community lead with the Eastern Shore Mission of Mercy. She's here with Deborah Rossi, the executive director of Hope Inc., and a volunteer team co-lead with the Eastern Shore Mission of Mercy. Thank you both for being here this afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you.
So for those who are not familiar, how did Mission of Mercy get started?
I love to quote the Margaret Mead quote of never underestimate the power of a few folks making a difference. And that happened in 2012, actually. Mission of Mercy as a model started in Virginia when a bunch of dentists got together and said, what is it that we can do for the underserved Appalachian population that does not have dental care? And this was back in the late 1990s. Eventually, that mission, that model, came into the Delmarva region. Three gentlemen, Dr. Spicer Bell, Dick Van Gelder, and I think Dr. Gary Allen, they came together and they said, a couple of businessmen and a dentist, how do we, it's no different in rural areas.
Yeah.
The access to dental care, sadly, back in 2013 isn't a heck of a lot different in 2026. So it's too easy for folks. So they were the ones that partnered with the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore and started it. In fact, my first experience in 2013 was showing up on a Saturday afternoon to help take the clinic down. And then it was 2015, it does happen. It should happen every year. It actually happens every 2 years. But give me another 2 years and I'm going to figure out how we're going to be able to do it every year. Because we really do need it in this area.
Sure, sure.
So describe the atmosphere of the event. What's it like?
Well, it is an event. We can accommodate up to 500 to 600 patients a day. What was a monster truck basketball court civic center concert venue turns into what I call, it's almost like a dental mash unit, wouldn't it? Because it was your first experience last year in 2024, and you were like, do you realize what is happening here? And sometimes when you're so in the production mode, you don't see that. But it is, we have 100 dental chairs, and when patients come in, they get registered, and they literally work a loop through the Civic Center. So after they're registered, we take them to medical assessment, and we make sure that they're healthy enough to receive the care that they need. Then they go to x-rays. They get the x-rays, which is painless. Like when we were going to dentists and they made you open your mouth, they just go, it's like you put your head in a chin hold and it just, it's magic. Then they consult with a triage dentist and make sure that we're clear that what are the priorities that they need. And then they wait, and then we move them into the clinic area where there is oral surgery, restorative dentistry, dental hygiene, so you can get your teeth cleaned, you can get your cavities filled, you can get teeth extracted, but you can't probably do all three of those things in one day. So we do prioritize because we want to give the patient the care they need within, say, a 60-minute period. So there's a lot of things we can do. There are some things we can't do, but still the opportunity to relieve the suffering. And for some folks, it's suffering in their bank accounts.
Yes, yes.
Because they're like, yeah, well, I saw what it costs to get the dental care that I need, and I don't have $2,000. I may have insurance, but I don't have the deductible.
So Deborah, this is a huge undertaking. You rely on volunteers, right?
We do.
Yes, so tell us about what they do.
So my experience last year was outside, and as the people were waiting in line. And when I showed up to get my radio and the things I needed to be outside of the clinic, there were already people forming a line, prepared to spend the night. So there are volunteers. We're out there entertaining the crowd and answering questions because they stand in line for so long. And then they are walked through the entire clinic. There are translators for those that have language barriers. There's patient education, checkout so that we can handle follow-up, which is a big part of the connection to Hope Incorporated because our oral health program runs year-round. So those patients that don't travel from other states but are here local, we can then sometimes help them with their follow-up care and making sure they have the case management they need. So that's an important thing. One of my biggest moments was when a doctor that we work with regularly through our oral health called me to have a meeting, called me in from outside of my volunteer position to meet with a client that needed some specialized care, and we were able to take care of that for him. So Sue's commitment to be connected to the community, not just for those 2 days of the clinic, but for the time afterwards, really is a continuum of care that is valuable.
Wonderful service. So if folks are interested, let's get the event details.
It is March 27th and 28th at the Civic Center. We have, we're certainly going to want to direct them to your website for more details, and that'll intersect. But one of the things that people need to understand is that there is no cost. There are no insurance requirements, residential requirements. There are no, there's
Barrier free.
Yeah, it is barrier free. Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
So-
And you also have some pre-screening events coming
Yes,
up. There's one
yes.
going on today.
Yeah.
We have all of that information on our website as well,
Fantastic.
DelmarvaLife.com. Click on what's happening today. And before we go,
Oh, yes.
you guys,
And
everyone gets a
at any of the pre-screening events, we'll give out oral health, oral care kits. Those will also be available at the event itself. And
All right.
I think it is, we're
It's a-
hoping for 75 and sunny weather on that so that it's comfortable for our folks. It is a long day, but it's a really worthwhile
So
day for
rewarding.
sure. Yeah.
Sue and Deborah, thank you so much.
Thank you
The
so
Mission
much.
of Mercy, we'll have all the information on our website.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.